The red heifers have been delivered to Israel. And they need to combine the ashes of the red heifer with the previous 9 red heifers, okay? The last red heifer to be sacrificed in this way was 2,000 years ago.
The red heifer. Can one heifer herald the third temple and the end of the world as we know it?
The 5 red heifers are now in a secure, undisclosed location in Israel.
I do want to talk about this Red Heifer prophecy.
So the Red Heifer prophecy will happen on Eid.
The Red Heifer Sacrifice by Israel that have any significance in Islam.
And this is some of the bogus teachings of the Jews.
Hamas has just pointed out that they are at least following the Red Heifer story.
AP, have you heard about this Red Heifer?
I haven't heard about no heifer.
The last red heifer to have been sacrificed was 2,000 years ago.
I am here in the West Bank, Judea and Samaria in the Holy Land, where a bunch of Jewish settlers are raising red cows. Through these Jurassic Park gates, you can find the red heifers. These are the red heifers that are supposed to bring on the end of days, the end times, and potentially the Messiah.
Let's talk about it.
I would not have made it out to see these red heifers today if it wasn't for our sponsor, Israel Slingshot, an incredible platform I'm very excited to tell you about later in this video. Thank you, Israel Slingshot, for sponsoring today's video.
My name is Tal, and I make videos here in Israel. A couple weeks ago, when I realized the hype train on these red heifers was taking off, being the YouTuber that I am, I wanted to capitalize on it. That led me down a deep rabbit hole, learning about an organization called the Temple Institute that wants to full-on build the third temple in Jerusalem. And through that, I was led to a woman named Moria. Moria lives here in the West Bank and is the chief content officer of Ancient Shiloh, the original Jewish capital before the city of Jerusalem. And when I got that fateful message welcoming me to come to the West Bank and meet the red heifers, well, my excitement was on the next level. And this is exactly how the day went.
Hello, cows. This is what we call holy cows.
Holy cow.
Oh, I could have made that joke. And they're so cute.
They have names.
They do?
Yeah. We call them Tikva, which is hope, Geula, which is redemption, Tchia, which is coming back to life, Nechama, which is consolation, Sgula, which is like treasure.
I love to imagine that one of these cows is named Nechama. That's my rabbi's daughter's name.
No way, don't tell her.
Okay, Moya, I have lots of questions. Actually, it's kind of like a surreal moment to be standing in front of these cows right now, because there is so much hype and misunderstanding on the internet about these cows. Look at these cows, man. They're so cute. These are the red heifers of the apocalypse everyone keeps talking about. They don't look so apocalyptic to me. I gotta be honest. They're so cute.
First of all, we're in Chilo now. Chilo is the place where the tabernacle stood for almost 400 years. And this is a place where the red heifers were used back in time when people wanted to come into the tabernacle. They had to first get cured using ashes of the red heifers. So this is the one that's the best one.
Oh, she's the best one.
Yeah.
What's
She's
her
like
name?
Really Nechama.
That's Nechama. That's Nechama.
That's Nechama.
Oh, wow.
One of them got disqualified, at least one of them.
Oh, no.
And it's okay because we're gonna breed them. We need only one.
Okay.
So she has like black hairs in her ears, so she got disqualified.
Oh, yeah. I actually noticed that earlier. So because she has black hairs in her ears, she's disqualified from being. So it means you can't use her for a sacrifice.
Right, but we can breed her.
Okay. All right. Let's do some questions. Okay, Moria, I've got some interesting questions for you. The reason I came out here today is because people are under the impression that you're trying to bring on the apocalypse with these animals. What's the truth behind what's actually going on here?
Okay, the truth is it's a commandment in the Bible that's all about the red heifers. And we decided to build here a visitor center that people can come here and study about the subject and start acknowledging it. The hope is that one day we could use them to make the ceremony be purified by them. And then maybe we'll be able to enter the temple. The temple is the house of love and blessings and light for the whole world. All the nations will be blessed by the temple. So we think it's like should be the will and hope of all the nations to make this happen. We're not going to do anything by force or anything. It has to be agreeable, has to be in a loving way, because all the idea of the temple is the house of the light of the God, and that's only by love and unity. The temple is called the house of life in Hebrew, Beit Chayim. The presence of God is in the temple. The interaction with death makes you impure because it takes something off from life. And to get in again, like full of life, the Bible says that you have to get purified by the ashes of the red heifers. The ceremony is made on the Mount of Olives. The priest used to, back in the time of the temple, to take a cedar tree and hyssop, it's all a lot of secrets, to put them into the fire. And then he took ashes from this fire and mixed it with life water. Life water is water that came from a spring, so it's full of life. And he took the ashes are like the source of death, and you mix them together. Again, it's a lot of spiritual secrets, and this becomes the water of life that will purify the people. And he would sprinkle on the family that wants to come to the temple on the third day, on the seventh day. Then they go to the mikveh, a ritual bath, and then they're pure and can enter the house of life because the source of life got back to them. So these are actually the key for the temple, because if you want to enter the temple, you have to have the red heifers. Otherwise, you're forbidden from going to the temple. Nobody can touch them.
Nobody's allowed to touch them.
No, because if you lean on them or you use them for your own use, they're disqualified, because these have to be only for the purpose that they are for. And they have to be 100% perfect with no blemish. So like you see, we put like this plastic on top here so they won't like get hurt.
So they can't even get like a cut or something.
Yeah, so everything has to be really like make sure that they won't get hurt. We have 5 conditions to make them perfect.
Good. Okay, that's good to know.
Yes. Because it's very hard to find red heifers. All these years they were looking for the red heifers, and the reason they couldn't find them, because they have 5 conditions to make them holy. First of all, they have to be perfectly red. And when I say red, you may think of the color of ketchup, but that's not the color that the Bible is talking about. Red is like, in Hebrew, it's aduma. It's like adama. It's like brownish red. They have to be this color, like you see over here, but they have to be completely in this color. Even if they have 2 hairs in a different color, they're disqualified. And then they have to be perfect, to be not blemished.
They're all female as well?
They have to be a female.
Have to be female.
And they have to be an adult cow, meaning 2 years and a month. Many times, like children that are born blonde and their hair changes, so the cows also, they're born in one color and their hair changes, so you have to wait till it's an adult, and only then it could be used. And like I said before, you can't use them for your own purpose, so you have to make sure we have cameras here to check that nobody touched them or used them.
You guys have security cameras installed here?
Yeah, it's security cameras for security, and also to check that they're...
It does really, I have to say, it looks like, not as a joke, but it really does look like Jurassic Park. It's like high-walled fences all around. It's like these big steel bars.
Yes.
I mean, they're very rare cows. You have to be careful with these guys.
They're very expensive cows, so you have to be careful. The story how they got here is very interesting. All the time people were looking for them inside Israel. Now, Israel is a small country, so it's hard to find. But today it's a global world. You can bring things from everywhere. So they decided to study the subject, and they found that in Texas there's a special kind of cows, in a few places in the world, but mainly in Texas, that's called Red Angus. And this cow has the right color. So they decided to go to farms in Texas and look for qualified cows. Every farm they went to, they were pretty disappointed because the cows had hairs in different colors. They weren't perfect. Then somebody told them there's one farm that has the most beautiful cows. His cows win Miss America every year, and they should check with this farmer. So they called the farmer, and the head of the institute said, "Hello, my name is so-and-so from Jerusalem calling, and maybe sounds weird, but I'm looking for a red heifer. Maybe you could help me." So the farmer said, "It's not weird at all. I'm a Christian. I know all about the Bible, and I know all about the red heifers. And I actually, when I started to raise cattle 30 years ago, I chose the red Angus because I thought maybe one day my cows will serve in the temple. So you're very welcome to come and see the cows." So the guys came to his farm, and this farm, they found 3 perfect heifers, and there was a big excitement. And the miracle was that they weren't tagged, and that's because it was the end of COVID, and the guy that was supposed to come and tag them was sick for a while.
Oh, wow.
And so all the calves that were born in that time were not tagged. So and then they went to more farms, and they found 2 more. So now they had 5 red heifers that they wanted to bring to Israel. So it was complicated because there's a law against bringing live cattle from United States to Israel. So after many phone calls, finally they got special permissions from the government to bring them as pets. So in a regular passenger airplane, first floor there were passengers, in luggage area 5 red heifers in pet containers. And then they were in a farm in the north, and finally they decided to bring them here to Chilo because, like I said, this is a place where the tabernacle was.
These guys flew on a plane?
On a plane. They were small though. They grew much bigger.
But these are some expensive cows then. These have a price tag behind them.
Oh yeah. Like you see here, we're building a visitor center. People to come and learn about the subject and get to know more about it. This wall will be a screen from the inside and a window from the outside, and then after you see the movie, the screen will go up and you see the cows.
Oh, you'll actually see the red heifers.
Yes, and you don't have to come. We don't like people coming so close to them, so that's another reason.
Yeah, I should explain to people who are watching too. We got special permission to come here and be this close to the cows today. Have you built any sort of connection with them? Do you see them often, or is it?
Yeah, they know me already.
Yeah.
I don't take care of them. There's a guy that takes care of them. But sometimes I give them food because they come here and they make noise because they're hungry. So I give them food to make them quiet. So they know me already, and
wow, that's amazing.
Especially one of them that I think she's the most perfect one, and I like her the best.
People might fire back at you and say, like, you want to do something with love, but this is only for the Jews. This is only for Jewish people, and this is an extremist part of the religion. And like what I see, I don't particularly see that. But how would you explain that to somebody who says, you guys are a bunch of extremists, you're trying to take over Palestine, trying to take over the Dome of the Rock in Al-Aqsa area, because obviously there's a connection here with that. It was the old temple. What would be your response to somebody like that who says something like that?
So first I understand that the temple stood on the Dome of the Rock 2,000 years ago for many, many years. And it was the place where King Solomon built the temple, and later the second temple, and it was a place, the most holiest site of the people of Israel. And we believe that this site will bring blessings not only to the Jewish people, but to all nations. That it's mentioned in the Bible. They're beautiful prophecies about all the nations coming together and building the temple and inspiring by the light of God coming from the temple. So again, we don't want to do anything by force, but we believe that one day it will happen. If I would tell you that 100 years ago that there will be a state of Israel and we would stand here in Chilo, everybody would laugh. Sounds like a joke.
Okay, here's a simple question for the people who watch this video, maybe are a little bit anti-Semitic and want to ask this, but they can't. Are you trying to bring on the apocalypse? Do you want to bring on the end of the world with these cows?
No way. We want to bring the good and the light.
The good and the light.
And the love to all worlds.
So just to be clear, the Jews that live here are not trying to bring on the end of the world.
No way.
Okay.
What is...
I'm bringing in a special guest.
Hello. Here's my question.
Cory Gilster.
Okay. What is the end of the world, or what is Sofa Yamim? What is the end of the world for Jews?
Okay. Acharit Hayamim, it's called in Hebrew. For the Jewish people is a time that the temple is built and Mashiach will come and then the light of God will be present in the world, and the teaching of the Torah and the Bible will be more available to the whole world, and it will be love between all nations, and it will be peace, but the good things that are going to happen when in the end of times.
Related question. This is from YouTube comments. What will the temple be built by destroying Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Saqqara, the Dome of the Rock? And if yes, is that okay?
I don't think it's going to be in a violent way of destroying. Our belief is, our hope is that the Muslims will realize that this will bring blessings for them too. The light of God will touch their hearts, and they will be part of it, and will say, "Come with us, build the temple." That's our.
Moya, we were talking a little bit about the construction of the third temple, Al-Aqsa Mosque. You said something that really piqued my curiosity, and I want to project that to people. A lot of people have this perspective that we need to destroy Al-Aqsa Mosque, the whole compound, take down any Muslim site that's there to rebuild the third temple in Judaism.
So my rabbi actually told me last week that Al-Aqsa is not where the temple was. It's next to the temple, and the golden... how do you say that? The golden...
the Temple Mount.
Or the temple...
Harabayit Kilo.
No, the Kippat Zahav.
The Dome of the Rock.
The Dome of the Rock.
Dome of the Rock.
The Dome of the Rock is... It's only a building. It's not where the Muslims pray. That's where the temple stood. So actually, you don't have to destroy Al-Aqsa to build the temple. We could really share it and be one.
We could work together to make it happen. It doesn't have to be only one person's site.
Right.
We could work together. And if you could just explain what the concept of Geulah means, because now I'll interject a little bit. I did a lot of research before coming here, but also didn't want to know too much because I wanted to speak to you particularly because you're the expert on this. From everything that I found, there's been, in Hebrew we have a concept, it's called la'avit. It's almost to manipulate or to alter something. And I feel like a lot of the sources around the world that are covering this topic right now, I've seen podcasts, YouTube shorts, TikToks, where people are freaking out that Jewish people have something that's part of their heritage. But I don't think people understand the concept of what Geulah actually means, and this is one of the purposes of getting us to Geulah.
First of all, I want to say that I feel that we are here not only for ourselves, but for all nations. Since we came here to Chilo, many people from all the world, thousands are coming to visit here and to get inspired from the presence of the tabernacle which stood here. And that's what's happening. We came back to the land of Israel not only for ourselves, but for all the nations to be rectified and be closer to God. And that's what Geulah is about. The Geulah is the presence of the light of God in the world in a way that everybody could feel it, and it will be much easier to be a good person.
Mm-hmm. I've got a last important question to you. When I was researching this topic, I found something kind of disturbing. And that was that during the October 7th attacks, a Hamas spokesperson, actually, I'm sure you know about this, he mentioned that one of the reasons that they committed the atrocities they did, that our whole nation is still in mourning of till this day, still in this war, of the October 7th attacks, was because of these cows. He had said that because of the importing of these cows from America to here, they saw this as an act of sort of poking, instigating. They saw it as an act of instigating against the Palestinian people. How does that make you feel? How do you respond to something like that?
So first of all, as we all know, the Arabs attacked us much before cows were here. They're attacking us and murdering us for many years. Unfortunately, some of my friends were murdered by terrorists, so it's not something that's because of the cows, maybe a good excuse. But if you think about it just
logically, I mean, we brought 5 cows to Israel. We're not doing anything harmful. We want to, we believe in good things in good ways, and we're not going to do anything violent. If you want to go against something, don't go against 5 cows that are standing here doing nothing, but go against the people who murdered so many other innocent people. Be careful not to touch their ass. I want to show Cory actually doing this.
What do I do?
You have to spill it into, but be careful on their eyes.
Yeah, of course. I'm afraid.
Be very gentle.
Sorry. Yeah, they're very timid.
Never in a million years could I have imagined when I first watched your videos in like 2016, 17,
okay,
that I would be with you in Chilo feeding the red heifers.
Exactly.
I could have never imagined.
I ate one of these sort of things the other day. No offense.
I hope that Cory and I were able to dispel some of the strange conspiracy theories and myths that you might have about these red cows. I feel like I learned a lot here.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah, I feel like it's nothing near what I've been seeing on the internet. A bunch of wild conspiracy theories that these guys are supposed to bring on the end of the world. They're just some normal cows.
They're kind of cute.
They're super
Hello,
cute.
kebab. Potential kebab.
So cute. They're so curious. Anyways, we are now going to move on to the site of Ancient Shiloh to help you understand why these cows are actually here. Bingo. That's how you close in the red heifers. This surveillance system protecting the red heifer site was provided to Tel Shiloh by the One Israel Fund. Those red heifers sure are adorable, ain't it? Look, it's becoming really easy to be anti-Semitic on the internet. And as a Jewish creator making videos online, it's kind of concerning. One of the main inspirations to making this video was essentially to combat anti-Semitism. And actually the whole purpose of this channel, since October 7th and even before, I try to find interesting ways to tell the story of the people of Israel and Jews like me and my family who come from the Middle East. A story that not a lot of people like to listen to or even know about. And I realized when it comes to combating anti-Semitism online, I've got to be clever, I've got to be smart. And that's exactly what the sponsor of today's video, Israel Slingshot, does. One of their taglines on their website that I really love is imagine seeing pro-Israel messages on Al Jazeera, CNN, BBC, ABC, you know, those news stations and media outlets that are not exactly fond of Israel. The amazing thing about them is that they're donation-based. It's people like you, viewers just like you are watching this video, who believe in fighting anti-Semitism. The whole reason why I went out to make this video about the red heifers was, well, I wanted to dispel the myths that Jews were about to take over the world, or try to end it. This to me is the core of what Hasbara really means. And Israel Slingshot is supporting creators just like myself and many, many incredible creators all over the world, as well as advertising campaigns and many more, to combat anti-Semitism in the places you would least expect it. I'm leaving a link down below in the description to israelslingshot.org. I'm sending you straight to their donation page. Please send them a donation. Support work like what I'm doing with the Red Heifers. Support work like what Israel Slingshot is doing, so we can hopefully lead to a world with less anti-Semitism online. So that's the official name, is the Red Heifer site?
Yeah.
The site of the Red Heifer.
The site of the Red Heifer. No, it's actually the Red Heifer Visitor Center.
Red Heifer Visitor Center.
Yeah.
So where are we actually now, and where are we heading to?
So we're now in the entrance of the Ancient Shiloh, which was the first capital city of Israel, the home of the tabernacle for more than almost 400 years.
The mosaics are amazing. I didn't realize. Wow.
Yep.
That is incredible. Look at the mosaics here.
Okay, so I'll start with my story of my
First, I
parents.
love the fact that you have a packet full of historical photographs. The lady brings her proof, and I love it.
My parents came here in 1978. They came with 8 families. They had a dream to find ancient Shiloh because we read about it in the Bible, and they knew it's supposed to be here somewhere in the hills. And many signs brought them to this area. When they came here, this is what they saw. It was just like empty. This is the building that we're looking at now. They were here middle of nowhere. Here's a picture of my mother holding me when I was 1 year old. We were here.
It's adorable.
Middle of nowhere.
She looks a lot like you. You guys look,
she does?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a compliment.
Yeah.
Here, middle of nowhere, no electricity, no water, no roads. So they brought us water like in a tank once a week, and we had to recycle every little drop. It was hard conditions, but they were very happy because they felt that 2,000 years we were waiting for this moment. 2,000 years the people of Israel are praying and dreaming to come back to our forefathers' land, and finally we came back here, and we have the privilege to be in such an important place, in the place where the Mishkan has been. So slowly Shiloh got developed. Today it's a big place, and archaeologists came here to dig the place and to see if we could actually find proofs that this is the site. And what happened is that through my
Moya
childhood,
went on to show me so many amazing parts of ancient Chilo. And being a Jew, it makes me feel even more connected to the land of Judea and Samaria, what people consider the West Bank, or sometimes the occupied Palestinian territories. There's no denying that this piece of land is absolutely jam-packed
with Jewish history, and the red heifers being back on the site where they probably were being originally sacrificed, in the incredible rituals that ancient Jews used to practice. Well, it's an amazing circle that's being completed. You have my biggest recommendation to travel out to Chilo when you come here and visit Israel. This will be an incredible way for you to explore Jewish history on your trip to Israel. Thank you so much to Moria and to the people behind Ancient Shiloh for helping us make this video and dispel some of the insane myths about the red heifer. I hope you guys understand that this is simply just a part of Jewish history, coming back and reclaiming a part of our heritage. As Am Yisrael, you have my guarantee that the world will not be ending because of these red cows. And that's coming from a Jew, so you better trust it. Please keep an eye out for the videos on my channel because there will be an in-depth explanation for what Moria was talking to us about, her heritage in Chilo, her story, and some amazing facts about the history here in the West Bank. Super nice, beautiful up here. The history, Cory, do you feel the history? I feel the history inside of me.
It's true. And what are they eating? What is there to eat here?
Can you imagine?
Oh my god, it would be awful.
Can you imagine us standing on the holiest site and saying this?
Yes, yes. That would be my complaint. I would be put to death. It would be, yes. I would be the sinner who'd be like, how dare you talk that way? I know. What kind of takeout can you get here? Nothing. You'd eat herbs or grass.
Oh my god, Cory. Oh my god.
And I want to say again a huge, massive thank you to Israel Slingshot for sponsoring today's video. Please make sure that you check them out down below in the description and donate to their incredible cause.
See you guys in the next one. I love you long time.